You wanna play the hunters. You want to fight and smite the creature of the night whose skin is an unusually pale shade of white. Well, you're doing it wrong. I'm sorry, but I have watched a lot of playthroughs of this game and a lot of games myself, and hunter players just don't get it. They don't feel bad about that. The learning curve in this game for the hunters is really, really steep. Way steeper than for Dracula. You can take basically any person, throw him into Dracula, and he'll at least do okay. He'll at least provide a intermediate challenge for skilled hunters. But you take new hunter players, and it's not good. And I felt really bad, and I watched a lot of playthroughs, and I've been like, oof, you guys need to go through a hunter boot camp. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be giving you all of my advice and just playing through a game and sort of talking through all of the different moves that you're going to want to make. I'm going against an AI here. Basically, it's impossible to lose against the AI Dracula. I'm just sort of using this as a illustration. Not because it's a real challenge. I'm going to be talking for a long time, getting into a lot of real nitty-gritty detail of all of the different nuances and stuff about this game that players don't seem to get. And a human player would get really annoyed if they waited for me to do that. So let's get started. I'm playing with everything turned on. I usually play with rumors turned off. But I'm not this time. So let's talk about starting locations. Don't play with the preset startup, it's real bad. Now there's a bunch of different setups that you can use. I'm not going to get into them all, but I'm going to talk about some of the things that you want to think about. My usual setup, and by usual I mean basically the same, is this. Yep, there we go. Okay. This is my setup. You always want to start somebody in England, not in Ireland, England. And I would say you generally want to start somebody in Madrid, specifically Madrid. You want to start somebody in England, because if you don't, then there's basically no punishment for Dracula starting or going there. And you can't, even if you know that he goes there, there's not really an easy way to punish him, unless you get really lucky with some of your events. So start someone here. There's arguments about which city to start in. I used to start in Manchester, but I've been playing with Liverpool a lot, and I've been liking that for reasons. You want to start somebody in Madrid, because if Evil Presence or Local Rumors pops, you can eliminate all of Spain with one card draw. For the most part. Sometimes Dracula can be sneaky and sort of jump in there in between it. But the reason you want to start here is that both of these are good locations for Dracula to retreat to. So you want to sort of start there to hem in his really good escape options. The other thing that I would say is the big thing that you want to do is you want to have Mina be teamed up with somebody. You don't want to have her off by herself, because then she can't use her Psychic Bond, and her Psychic Bond is most useful in the beginning of the game. Because at the end of the game, you, if you're playing well, know where Dracula is down to the region. Sometimes her ability is useful when Dracula goes by sea to eliminate a sea zone, one of his possible landing zones, but yeah, you want to have somebody near Mina. Some people like starting Mina and somebody else in Bucharest, and then you sort of hem in from the sides. I'm not a huge fan of that, because it leaves the center too empty. And I actually like it when Draculas start in Balthlica, because not a lot of great escape routes, and you can really hem them in here. So, those are the things to think about when it comes to starting location. There are different styles and different strategies. I'm going to try to teach you just kind of the basic things that you have to do, like the things that you really need to do, and then from there you can come up with your strategies. This I like because Dracula doesn't know if I'm going to move Mina to Godalming and check Germany, or if I'm going to move Godalming to Mina and check Austria-Hungary, or if I'm going to move them both down to Italy and check Italy. All of which I could do on the first turn, and sometimes I do, just to be cheeky. But that's not usually what I do on the first turn. Usually, on the first turn, and the first week, and this is really important, I'm going to do this. regardless. Now, I know what you might be thinking, because I've seen a ton of players, and what they want to do is they're like, hey, I want to move. I want to go to places and check where Dracula is. No, do not do that. Do not move your hunters in the first week of the game. Or, to be more specific, do not move your hunters until you know where Dracula is. To be even more specific, and yes, I'm saying this 3 times because it is that important to get into you new players' heads, do not move your hunters unless moving will narrow down Dracula's location in a significant way. In a way that you know will narrow it down. So if he has a whole bunch of movements out, such that me moving Van Helsing to London will eliminate all of England as a possible location, then maybe do that. But you do not want to move your hunters unless you know you're moving them towards Dracula. One of Dracula's most powerful cards that he can get is a card that lets him move a hunter away from him. There's actually a bunch of different cards that do things like that. You moving before you know where Dracula is, you have basically a 50% chance of moving either towards him or away from him. So you are spending one of your most powerful actions, the day actions, for a 50% chance that you give Dracula one of the most powerful abilities, moving away from him. Don't do it. Don't move unless you know where you're going. Supply in the day unless you have an absolutely amazing reason not to. Even when there's these Dracula cards on the top of the deck. Getting rid of these Dracula cards from the top of the deck is really great. It's really good. So you're thinking, oh, I want to move Mina here and check here. Well, sometimes I'd do that. Sometimes I'd do it the other way. But you know what I usually do? I just supply. You have to supply. Ooh, newspaper reports. Excellent. Look at that. I got newspaper reports. How lucky of me. Right? Wrong. It's not luck. It is math. So, there are 5 events in this deck that are what I would call a silver bullet event. An event that just really helps you figure out Dracula's location early. Those cards are Jonathan Harker, which allows you to reveal this location when a card slides to it, which it's not great, but it's okay. It's good to get early. It can really help you in the early game. There are 3 newspaper reports, which I just drew. This card right here. And there's 1 hypnosis. So that's 5 cards, really good. There's also a ton of other cards that can potentially help you find Dracula's location. 8 actually. There's 2 local rumors, 2 evil presences, and 4 hired scouts. Those, once you get good, you can use hired scouts and allies effectively to figure out Dracula's location. And I suggest playing with the same setup every time, because there are certain starting locations which are really tempting given your setup. Don't tell other people what that is, or else people will figure it out. I'll tell you that in this setup, a lot of Draculas like to start in Valona, and a lot of them like to start in Bari. Sometimes they start in either of these cities, and so I'll check a lot of those. And I can't tell you how many times I have, on one of the first turns, selected Valona, and bang, there he is. Of course, now that I've said that, no one's going to go there. That's a little bit of psychology, so I don't really want to talk about hired scouts and the allies too much of which places to pick. These 2 are also good choices for this setup specifically. But I want to mostly talk about the math here, because there are these 5 silver bullet cards which are going to basically just let you know where Dracula is. Newspaper reports is better if there's at least 3 cards in the trail, but me having to wait until the 5th card to reveal his location, that's super good. That's fine. That's better than Jonathan Harker. So you don't see me complaining. So there's 75 cards in total at the start of the deck. So the 5 silver bullet cards divided by the 75 cards means there's about a little over a 6% chance that you're going to draw it on any draw. Although it's actually a little better than that, because after every draw, the size of the deck decreases. So the chance of you drawing one of those cards actually goes up. So the math is actually a little better than that. So if you multiply that times 6 day supply actions, you're having a 40% chance of getting one of those silver bullet cards. And that's if you only supply in the day. You might want to do some night supplying, and you can up that percentage to as high as an 80% chance to get one of those. Obviously, it's better if you get it earlier. But then you also want to combine that with the fact that you might catch him with a psychic bond. And what I'm trying to illustrate here is that the way that you discover Dracula is not by randomly walking into his trail, because there is one card out of all of the cities. What are the chances you're going to move on to that one card? Basically 0, because no good Dracula player starts next to you, because of cards like Evil Presence and Local Rumors. If he does start next to you, you'll just discover him with those cards, most likely. So there's no reason to move. And even if he does start next to you, and you move into his space, you're now fighting Dracula with no cards, or with almost no cards. It's a bad idea, don't do it. Just wait until you've discovered his location, and then you can start moving towards him. So, generally you want to get tickets at night, and you want to get supplies at the day. And once you get one of the silver bullet cards, like newspaper reports, do not night supply. Because if you night supply, while you have one of those out, you could get Dracula Sensationalist Press, which cancels newspaper reports. That's just, that's the worst. It's the absolute worst. Okay, yeah, normally I would actually night supply here if we hadn't gotten a silver bullet yet. I really shouldn't call them that, because people sometimes call the holy bullets that. Ugh, this AI is so bad. So hopefully you understand the math behind why you should just stay in place and scan. Now that I have newspaper paper reports, I probably actually don't want to put them together. Normally I would put them together so that Godleming can start trading Mina his items and tickets. Because he gets them twice as fast, but I'm not going to, I think. Let's keep supplying. Oof. Pretty bad draws here, but that's fine. So while we're let's talk about the supplies we want to get. We don't like dogs, and we don't like garlic wreath. If you want to know why I don't like garlic wreath, watch my video on the combat guide. Dogs it has been useful on occasion, accidentally, is how I would describe dogs. We're really going for literally anything else. We really want Heavenly Hosts. We really want to get all of our Heavenly Hosts out. Ooh, Mystic Research, that's good to get. You want to get Mystic Research out quickly. But again, we want to supply in the day, and we want to do those night supplies. We want to do literally anything else for a night action. Oh gosh, 2 garlic wreaths. Okay, at this point I might actually move Godleming to Mina just to give her some good stuff. Let me guess. Oh, what? Oh, what? Yeah, this Dracula is a bad player. Okay, this is going to be a weird game because Dracula is bad at the game. Now let's look at this. Wow, Dracula's adjacent to Van Helsing. That's so good. We should go attack him, right? No, we have a pistol. The pistol, the worst weapon in the game, in my opinion. We are not going to attack Dracula with just a pistol. If we had 3 good items, then maybe we would attack Dracula. Okay. This is going to be a great opportunity to talk to you about tickets. So we're going to get some tickets for Godleming. So we want to get rid of this one, right? Nope. We want to get rid of this one. Because of reasons. Let's see what we get. Ooh, alright. Okay, it's always just tough with Godleming. Let's talk about fast horses. Okay, so that didn't really change anything. It's hard to do this with Lord Godleming. We are going to get you that. Ooh, that's actually quite good. So, why is it that we want to get rid of good tickets? Now, here's the reason why. Fast horses, which I wish I had a copy to show you so that I could explain to you what I want, is a card which is reveal a ticket from the ticket deck, and then move a number of road spaces equal to the yellow value. Now, there are 8 tickets of the 16 which have yellow 2s. And there are 8 which do not have yellow 2s. So it's a 50% chance of you moving 2 road spaces. That seems pretty good, right? Well, what everyone does when they play this game is they always try to get the best tickets. And they're like, well, I'm going to get as many people having 3 2s and 2 2s as possible. And then they have 4 hunters with 8 good tickets. And then they try to use fast horses. Do you know what the chance is of you getting a 2 movement on the fast horses when everyone has a yellow 2? 0. 0% chance, because each hunter can have 2 tickets. There are 8 which have yellow 2s, and if everybody has a yellow 2 and you try to go fast horses, you will move the 1 space. Do you know what the chances are of you moving 2 spaces if everyone has a bad ticket? 100%! Now, people who are new to the game may not appreciate just how powerful moving 2 spaces by road is. And to those people, I would say, look at this region. And look at this region. And look at trying to get from here to here in this region. Is moving by rail look like an efficient way of getting from, like, here to here? No. Moving by rail, that would be 2 moves if you had good tickets. If you used fast horses, it would be 1 move and you spent no tickets. My point is, there are a lot of circumstances, especially in spaces where you have the yellow rails, where 2 movements by road is really good. If you're trying to get from here to Venice, rail is sending you completely in the opposite direction. There's a lot of nuances to this map, a lot of tricks and a lot of odd things. Yeah, I don't even think I want to get a ticket with him, because he has the 2 yellow that I want. There's a lot of nuances to this map, and you just kind of have to... Actually, I'm going to draw a ticket here. Yes. You have to appreciate how good fast horses can be. Now, often what I will do... Oh, this Dracula's bad. Is sometimes a hunter will have maybe 1 good ticket and 1 bad ticket. Because sometimes you need to move via a fast rail. Sometimes you want that 3-2. But if you don't need to move really fast at the moment, get that stuff back into the pile. If you don't need it right away, then don't get it. So, Dracula's gone to sea, which means... Ooh, this is a good time to talk about how to deal with Pirate Dracula. So normally, we've revealed Dracula. We know where he is. He's in England. So we want to go there right now, right? No, wrong. Incorrect. Because if you go to England, Dracula could be anywhere by the time you get there. Fury of Dracula is not about going to where Dracula is. It's about going to where Dracula will be. That is really important. A person should go to where Dracula was to deal with any vampire encounters that you might think that he has. But if you don't think that he has any, or if you've already dealt with them, everybody else needs to, say it with me now, not move. Daytime supply. Or move into a position where you're good. Because that, where you can hit multiple of his locations. Yes, we want to get rid of dogs, and we want to get rid of... Oof. It's bad hand. I'm going to get rid of holy bullets. If you don't know why, watch my combat video. So yeah, we're going to stay here and keep supplying. And the reason we really need to do this because... Oh, I should have traded on Van Helsing's turn. Oh, I'm bad at this game. The reason why is that... So let's say... We actually know that Dracula was in Swansea. He's in the Irish Sea right now, so he could go a whole bunch of different locations. Him going down towards John Seward is a bad idea for him. And so if he does, John Seward's going to keep supplying, and then he's going to have a ton of stuff by the time Dracula heads down there. If I start moving John Seward away from here, then Dracula for sure is going to move this direction. If I start moving these guys down here to block him off here, then Dracula for sure is going to go that direction. So we stay put, we wait for him to decide where he wants to land, and then we start heading him off. And that way we'll have plenty of nice, shiny, killing him stuff, to get to help with that. Ooh, Jonathan Harker. So if I were to search, that would make Renewed Vigor useful in the future, because it's useless right now. Because there's nothing here. By the time something gets there, we're gonna know what it is. So I'm actually. I can't check to see if I have Renewed Vigor at the not Renewed Vigor, Surprising Return at the moment, but I think I might get it. So yeah, I'm actually going to search with this, and just for giggles. Oh look, he was in Swansea. We know that. The AI is bad. We're going to keep supplying. We need to get that stuff. And for Mina, we need to supply... Oh, see? Yeah, we want Rufus Smith. Wow. See, you wouldn't get lucky like this unless you supplied constantly. You need those good allies. You need those good events. You need that good stuff to help you win. You need consecrated ground. Some people would say you need consecrated ground to win the game. I don't know if I would go that far, but yeah, I'm actually not going to supply, because I actually like him having a 3-rail, because I can jump up to either of these cities, and I don't really want to get him a better ticket, because again, I'm trying to prime the pump for getting that really good horse economy. So we're actually going to skip with him. Skipping is a really powerful thing. I'm not going to forget it this time. Oh, actually, let's think about this. I think I may try to get the better ticket for him. Because... and that's fine. We didn't get it, but I'm going to be sticking around a couple more turns. I can try for it later. Now, you are going to trade with him for Mystic Research. Heck yes. And I think I'm going to trade for Lucky Find as well, because he's going to max out on items pretty quick. And I like having good combat cards on Van Helsing, so that if, say, Seward or Godleming, or Mina when Speedy Telegraph is in play, finds Dracula before Van Helsing's turn, Van Helsing on his turn can trade some of these nice cards to whoever is fighting Dracula. And you can't do that unless Van Helsing has the card on hand at the time. 2 yellow is fine, because it can get you up here, which is a decent spot for you. I might want to do that, but again, she has a horrible, horrible hand. Garlic Wreath, 2 Garlic Wreaths is even more useless than 1 Garlic Wreath. And let me tell you, 1 Garlic Wreath is pretty dang useless. Because it's a one-shot that Dracula has to choose to take damage to stop a card that is already really good. Did he wolf form? Yep. Okay, so he's either back in England or he's in... Oh gosh, the AI is bad. Sorry. AI is bad, guys. So now we might want to consider moving. Godleming has a fine setup? I guess. I'm not crazy about it. Now, because he's on land and can move slower on land, I think I'll start moving a little bit. Usually you don't move this soon. You know, usually it would be next turn that we reveal him with that newspaper reports. Again, this is the AI. It's pretty much impossible to win. Now, because my tickets are so bad and I need to get more stuff, I'm gonna... Oh, yes. Oh, double knife, double... Wow. Yeah. Double knife, double heavenly host is probably the best hand you can get. So I'm gonna go find him, right? No. My hand is the worst. Let's get... Okay, that's at least slightly better. We're gonna get rid of these dogs. The dogs are already pretty bad. Double dogs is not any better. And... No, you need to get stuff. A steak is... it's alright, I guess. Not really what I want. Again, the AI is it's the AI. What other things should I talk about? I was talking about fast horses and the need to keep all those yellow 2s in circulation. I wish I had a better example to sort of illustrate to you how good that can be. Let's see if we can... Oh, good, we got a white 1. We want to get those white 1s because there's 3... Oh yeah, I should talk about that. There's 3 white 1s in the deck, and those are used for killing your fast horses when you try to trigger them. If you can get them all into people's inventories, all 3, which is not that hard to do. Again, often there we go. Yeah, often you want often you want the person with fast horses to have 2 white 1s, or each person to have 1 good 1 and 1 bad 1. Super easy. We will do Mystic Research. I wish there was an easier way to keep track of this. I actually have a deck of cards on my deck that I use to keep track. of these 6 hunter cards. Oh, wow, that was lucky. Well, no, it wasn't lucky. See, we actually could predict this by the fact that, and I should talk about this, in the discard pile we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Dracula events, which means there's only 19 in this deck. That's actually better odds than we started with. The normal odds are that 1/3 of the events are Dracula events. So since we know that 19 of these 60 are Dracula events, it's actually a little better than that. Let's have you pass. Fast horses tends to be better on people with lower initiative. You're going to the ocean again. Ugh. And we have a little bug here. It is what it is. Fast horses is better on people with lower initiative for 2 reasons. One, it's better to move fast late, because that way you can jump onto Dracula's location if he was discovered earlier. And also, people earlier in the activation can use their yellow 2 movements, and it gets those back into circulation, so that holding on to yellow 2s isn't as punishing. Okay, so he could have gone... He couldn't have gone to Swansea. So he's either in the English Channel or the North Sea. And he's used his wolf form. So we know he can't North Sea to a location. You can use wolf form from the ocean to skip a port into the adjacent city. It's always been in Fury of Dracula, and it happened in the book, so don't complain about it. It's a good ability, and it's a thing that you should do as Dracula. I'm going to chill. Again, you want to, if possible, make Dracula come to you. And he's at sea, he hasn't decided where he's going. Ooh, we have the fast horse. Excellent. I don't need 2 stakes. Got that bug there. I will discard the pistol, because I can always resupply up. Now you might get to see how good Fast Horses is. See, Fast Horses... Ooh, hired scouts. That is incredibly useful, because we can eliminate an entire sea zone. Oh, so we know he went to Plymouth. So he's in the English Channel. Again, the AI is bad at this game. So, let's... Do we want to supply... I'm actually going to move him a tad. Just in case he goes here, then I'm at least sort of catching up with him. That also puts this yellow 2 back into circulation, so that Fast Horses is more likely to trigger. Which isn't as much of a problem at the moment, because these rails here are some of the few actually very good rails. There are very few places on the board where the rails are really good and can get you where you're wanting to go. France is that way, England is that way. This rail is real good, and this rail is real good. But a lot of times you're like here, and you're trying to get over here, and the rails just are the worst. Or you're here and wanting to get down here, and the rails are the worst. Or you're trying to go from here over to here, and these rails are really good at going north and south, but not good at going east and west. Since we know... we should actually check that... yeah, we're going to need to check to see if he put down a vampire. He does not have good stuff for that. But what are you gonna do? So you're gonna move. One thing you want to do is you want to head off Dracula. So I'm actually going to move Mina... well, he's still in the ocean. He might... okay, so the question is he going to go this way or this way? And since we already have John Seward here to sort of head him off here, he could go here and then here. So let's move here in case he tries to go to Hamburg. We can head him off. Again, we're sort of playing as if wolf form is in play. A good Dracula would have wolf form in play when he's going to the ocean, so he can use it, and you want to head him off in these types of situations, so that way when he goes to the port, you can close the net better, because he can just jump over you. And it's not great. See, normally in this circumstance, I would ticket to get rid of this yellow 2 to put it back in circulation so that the horses are more accurate. But a yellow-white movement is not bad. I'll take it. So there's no reason, if you want to move by, if you happen to be in a situation, which is pretty rare, where you want to move by the rails, then go ahead and take it. Don't feel bad. Now you're going to probably want another ticket. I am going to have, and because we did Mystic Research, we know that the bottom event is a good one. Ooh! This is one of the rare circumstances where I actually like drawing holy bullets, because I have 2 guns. So that's nice. Ooh, excellent weather, an excellent card. Also, do know... somebody has Renewed Vigor, right? Seward had Renewed Vigor. Cards that let you move are not movement actions. This is an action which is not the movement action. So, Renewed Vigor, which is each person can perform 1 additional action, you could Sense of Emergency and then Rail Ticket, or move with fast horses and then move normally. That is almost 100% what you want to do with Renewed Vigor, is to allow for that double move. With that, I could Rail 3 Horse to Lisbon in 1 action. Look at that. You can move all the way across Europe for an action. That's real good. That's a real good ability. Whose turn is it? Me now. Now, I do want to get you a ticket. Now, 3 is actually fine here, because you can jump down to Paris, which could be good. Alright, so he's either in the North Sea or the North Atlantic. This is going to be a fast game. Like I said, never play against the AI. I'm just doing it as a illustration. He goes to the ocean way too much early, and there's just a million reasons why it's bad. But since we don't know if he's here or here, we're going to have to do what we always do. We are going to chillax. Again, we want to get these... Ooh, that, I think, is actually better than garlic. And I don't want Holy Circle. And you know what? I don't actually need a stake at this point. Normally, you would need stakes early in order to stop Dracula from being in a really good position. Okay, I'm actually going to get rid of garlic in this case, because I want to have something that cancels Escape as Bat. Well, I have this. Nah, but I want 2 things. I want 2 things that can cancel Escape as Bat. That's when you're in a really good position, when you can have 2 things that cancel Escape as Bat. Because then you can cancel both of his escapes as Bat, and sometimes he won't always do it. Escape Route, that is certainly a card. Since he doesn't have wolf form, we are going to chill again. Again, supplying at day is one of the best things you can do. Even if we don't need the item, we don't need this crucifix, but we can get a new item, or an event, and then new events can be real nice. Ooh, newspaper reports, that's useless, but we'll use it anyway, for fun. Oh look, oh, this is useful. He went to Galloway. See, I'm a dumb man. So this reveals that he was in Galloway, and so he could be all the way down in the South Atlantic. That is useful information, which means you, I think, are going to excellent weather to here. Oof, I'm bad at this game. I should have caught that, but, you know, that is the game. That is how the game, that is sometimes how the coconut crumbles. So let's see if we can get you something that is just not the worst. Ah, yes. Garlic, good card. Garlic Reef, bad card. And we get to discard more of these cards. What do we want to reveal? Garlic is usually a pretty decent reveal, because garlic is so good. Generally, I don't even care if Dracula knows it. It's like, you know what, Dracula? I'm going to play garlic face up. And it's so good, I still won't even care. We're still going to have you chill. You have nothing to play. I kind of want to try for a... Yeah, I'll try for a 3. A yellow 2 is really... Like, if I'm going to have a yellow 2, I might as well try for one that's a 3. And if I were to draw a 3 here, I so much want to keep these in my hand, I would discard it again. Here we go again. Hey, look, it worked. Ain't that special. I'm going to have you also try for a 3. I know I'm diluting the deck of yellow 2s, but because of all the ocean movement... Ah, yeah, that was bad. He who with the fast horses doesn't actually need to yellow 2 yet. So that's good. Yeah, you're going to pass. I could have you night supply, but you generally don't want to waste your night supplies until this AI, man. Why? Why did you feel the need to misdirect right there? What was going on in your AI brain that thought, this card that's about to slide off, which will potentially be able to be turned into a lair and let me do something. Let's go ahead and have that no longer exist. Okay, so he's probably in Spain. I think I'll do Renewed Vigor, and here's why. I'm going to do some shenanigans. Check this out. Let's not waste that. Oh, do I want to do Speedy Telegraph? I'm going to do Speedy Telegraph just to sort of show you how good this card is. Speedy Telegraph wins games. Now, this isn't really a win-the-game moment for a use of Speedy Telegraph, but here's what you can do. I can move her first. Check this. Okay, now we know that he's not there. That's super useful. Now we will supply. Oh, maybe should have done that first. Oh well. We don't need the stake because we're in a position where there aren't a lot of vampires around and he's taking so much damage. Ooh, Lucy's Revenge. That's nice. And now I get to show you how the whole Fast Horses shenanigans work. So we'll check this one. Nope. So now we use Fast Horses for the second action. Hey look, it's yellow too, just like I prepared and has been talking about. Whereas other people are like, man, how do you make yellow 2s happen? You play the game, that's how. Okay, let's see. So he was at Galloway. And then he went... So he actually could be in Le Havre. So we can check Le Havre. And he's not. Okay, so now we know he's in Spain. See? Useful. Let's move you... He doesn't have wolf form yet, so Madrid is a decent play. We don't want to use Sense of Emergency unless we're jumping on his individual location. And I'll supply... But I could use Sense of Emergency. I could play Sense of Emergency right now for the double move. Which is a powerful thing you can do. Ooh, pistol. Yeah, I would like to discard that. Thank you very much. Discard the pistol. And then we get Chartered Carriage. Chartered Carriage is better in Eastern Europe. Let's see what you got. Watch it not be a vampire. The AI is so bad about throwing down an early vampire. AI, why? I'm not going to discard anything. I actually kind of like this hand. And my second action will be to draw an event. Sometimes you feel bad for the AI. Alrighty. No reason to play newspaper reports. And I like the 3 here, because you can go 1, 2, 3. Although this is probably a more dangerous play on his part. He couldn't have gone to the Irish Sea because he went from Swansea to the Irish Sea, and then he wolf formed to Galway, and then, yeah, okay, we eliminated that, yeah, so, no need. Do we want to get a rail ticket for you? I'm not going to, because, let's see, we have a 2, we have a 1, I mean, we could dig for a bad one, but I feel like you're going to have secondary action. You're going to have night actions which aren't going to need to be trading for stuff. No, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll get this. Oh, good. See, I got a non-yellow too. That gets it out of circulation. Also, am I, do I have perfect animal husbandry at this point? 1, 2... No, not quite. There's 1 still in circulation. You are going to rest. You got nothing better to do. You are gonna chill. Wait, no! You have fast horses. Well, but a 3 movement would be good next turn. So let's, yeah, a 3 movement would get her here, which basically is the same thing as a fast horses. Okay, so he landed, he could be here, in Bordeaux. So let's check Bordeaux. No reason to play newspaper reports. Okay, let's check Bordeaux. That's what a tricky vampire would do. But this is the AI we're talking about. So let's try to... We want to close the net. So the furthest east he could get is Granada. So let's check Granada. Okay, so we know that he's in one of these spaces, and he may have hid. Or he could have gone along the edge. And we check both of those. He could be back in England, though. That's a fair point. I should... Since you're so far away from everything... No, I'm going to move you here. That's still a good move. Yeah, he could have gone back to England, which if... You may think, oh, David, you're being tricked by the AI. If he went back to England, that's a super good thing, because then he's now stuck again at Ocean and has to take all this damage from Rufus Smith. Again, you want to try to eliminate the worst locations first, so that once... You'll probably find him there because it's the worst location, and then if it's like, oh, he's in this location, which is the best location for him to be at, that's good. Do I want you to Night Supply? I actually do. I'm not crazy about that Holy Circle. Oh, look, another Holy Circle. Oh, there we go. Now that's what I want. That makes me happy. Heavenly Host, best card in the game. If you want to know why, watch my video on the combat system. I really should be keeping track of how many I've been drawing from the bottom, so that's my bad. But you actually have a good draw there, so I'm going to have you pass, and you have to pass. And I'm going to have you draw because I'm going to try to dig for it. Yes! Ah! Now we have perfect Hannibal Husbandry. We have all 3 white ones out, which means we cannot lose our fast horses. Okay, he's fed, which makes me think that he hid. Unfortunately, we can't eliminate by checking these 2 cities because he could be here and then hid. So, let's just make some eliminations. Aha! Ooh! Hey, look at that! Hey, that was a good move! Hey, that... okay, I would have swapped these. Well, nah. The hunter reveals all their item and event cards, then discards all of their tickets. Do I even care about his tickets? Hunter may discard a weapon. See, okay, if this was a good player, then I would consider doing this, because I don't want to reveal my Heavenly Host, because he'll try to fangs it, but honestly, having a knife and a Heavenly Host I kind of love, because if he fangs, I can counter the fangs with a knife, and knife is just generally a good play in a group of hunters. Anyway, so I'm not going to discard this. You can have my 1 ticket. You know, I would personally like to have that, but, you know, it's whatever. He doesn't have... So he did hide here. Okay, yeah. So we want to head him off at this point. We're going to want to go here to stop him from going here. We're going to want to go here to stop him from going here. And Mina can rail down to here, so that will force him west. Again, you don't want to move into Dracula's location. I mean, we can't in this circumstance. You want to move to where he will be going. Ah! Yeah. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. See, that 1 white was discarded. See, this is why you want to take. This is why you want to do that. You want to keep the cards in the hands, and you know, I could have discarded my knife to keep the white 1 from going back in. And to be fair, that was kind of unlucky, but it's not the worst. Ooh, do I want to play escape route here? I do. Yeah, because I don't want him to escape his bat. And really, if you to win against Dracula, you need multiple hunters. You really have to have multiple hunters. One-on-ones, just avoid them. Even like I said in my combat video, if you have like a hunter with the best hand, and this was a good hand. I mean, horses was pretty bad, but if you have a hunter with the best hand going up against Dracula one-on-one, you'll win it 40% of the time. Those aren't great odds, so maybe don't take it. Maybe, and we got him in a bad situation. He can't go back out to the South Atlantic. If he wants to go to sea, he's going to have to go this direction. But we've headed him off here. He only has 2 choices to move right now, and we can collapse on a lot of that. It's a good situation to be in. I dig it. I kind of want you to get a 3, and I wouldn't mind you getting that white 1 back. So let's... Hey! There we go. There we go. Okay, you're still in a decent spot. You don't have a rail, though. So you need... Oh, yeah. 2 white. Very good. Because this, and a lot of people miss this, this is a rail, not a road. I believe it was a road in 2nd edition, but they changed it because they didn't originally have this road, this coastal road here, they added. It used to be that you could lock off all of Spain by just having somebody in Zaragoza. And it was nuts. And that was, I think, back when you could have multiple consecrated ground tokens, which I shouldn't have to tell you is absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, this is a situation where we need to move Mina fast, so we want to trade out for a good card. Okay, that's a little better. It's something. We can check here with her. This is when Speedy Telegraph would be nice. Oh, so this is actually not a bad move on his part, because that fog actually protects him. And it makes it so now he can wolf form. So that was actually a decent play on Dracula's part. Good job, Dracula. I do get 2 fights with him here, though. So, you know, that's not super great on his part. Don't need to play newspaper reports. Okay, here we go. So, this is pretty good. How much despair do we have? 1, so we can escape on round 3. Best opening in the game, and honestly, I like it if he bites me here, because I get out of the fight. Oh, look! The best opening, Strength, which Heavenly Host counters. Watch my combat video, guys, if you haven't. Yeah, now this is a day fight, which is pretty rare. In fact, I might actually win here. Yeah, you can actually use Fog and say, I don't want to fight, which you should do. So the question is, do I want to do this? And I don't. I don't want to do this, because then I don't have it to cancel his escape as bat. So let's... I'm actually afraid of him using a plotting? Yeah... but that won't get him in killable range. But I can probably kill him at night. I can trade... Yep, yeah, there it is. I can trade Lucky's Find to Godleming, which he'll need. Although he will get a supply action, so yeah, he's... The AI is not good. He'll probably escape his bat here, and then I'll kill him. Oh, plotting. Oh, well, he's dead anyway. So, yeah, that's that. Again, this is the AI. It's not a real victory. I think I've given you all the basic advice I can. There's a lot of other things that people aren't using right. Consecrated Ground is something people don't understand how to use correctly. I could do a whole video on that. I almost want to do a whole video just on fast horses. I hope I've explained that. I've shown how Renewed Vigor works. That's important. Anything else I need to talk about? I don't think so. Hopefully this is helpful to you. I want to do a video where I play through a game and then my brother, who's an actual good Dracula player, also plays through and records it, and then we have both videos. I'm thinking about doing that. I don't know if I will. Depends on how popular these are. So, if you have any questions or requests, let me know. It's hard to win as the Hunters for new and intermediate players, but if you skill up enough and you think ahead and you move to where Dracula will be, not to where he is, you can win. So have a good day, and Godspeed.